Hello guys, welcome back to the Crew 2. What we're gonna look here is have a look on the first summit, which will run from April 24th till May the 1st. The rewards are a 150,000 followers fame pack for bronze medal, star-shaped smoke for silver medal, a customization pack for the Ferrari 812 Superfast, which has some wings and stuff like that, and a neon pink tire, which is epic. That means that thing is somewhere around 56,000 crew credits if you want to buy it, which of course is something we will not be able to do. I am on my second driver here, which is basically a Noob driver. I have no legendary sets or anything. I barely have yellow parts. Some of the, most of the disciplines are not even upgraded. So that also will not help us very much. So we're gonna see what we can do, what we need to do. I do have 7.5 million bucks. I can buy some vehicles if needed. We don't need to talk about recalibration yet because I don't have yellow sets, so all kind of stuff happening. So there are already a few things which we immediately see, and that is that we do not have the P51 Mustang Strega, and we do not have a Red Bull Alpha GP. So we need to go buy them, that is for sure. We do have a proto boat, which is totally not maxed out yet. Same goes for drift car, rally rate, same story. I do have a street car at 280. That's the only thing that I have. And then we're gonna have a look. This speed trap, let's start with that one because that's already a problem. If we look at the leaderboard, current leaderboard in this summit after a couple of hours, going over the leaderboard and the friends leaderboard, and where do you see the top? F9. We see some very interesting situations going here. In 6th place, we see Sonics, aka Huayra. In 7th or 8th, I think. In 9th, even, we see AKS Odomi, which is GoPro IMAX. Huayra and GoPro. Considered one of the fastest, if not the fastest or best summit players. They are in 6th and 9th place. That is already a bit of a problem. The top 5 are using a boat. The speed trap is Yellow Family. This is why I said last week already, or in the latest video that I did of the summit update, I already said you need to restrict these things. Yeah, this is exactly why. The top 5 are using power boats. The speed trap is on the road. That's already strange. They are doing 676 kilometers. Considered best players in summits, Huayra is in 6th place. He's using a dragster. 557 kilometers an hour on a speed trap with a dragster is possible. These guys drive on wheel. They can handle the dragsters and they can steer with them. On a keyboard or on a gamepad or a controller, you cannot steer with those things that much. So if you can't use a dragster, you're probably going to end up with something like a Formula 1 car, which is also pro racing family. Again, it's a yellow speed trap. It should be restricted to the street family. So what are these 5 guys here? Are those cheaters? Could be. Or are they doing something which... The only thing that I can come up with is that they use a plane, make that plane come out of the sky towards the speed trap, switch to a boat and somehow trigger the camera with that boat. So that's something that we have to see if that is actually possible, or if just these top 5 guys are already in the first summit cheating like hell. That's also a possibility. Either way, we're going to try to figure it out. So we're going to go to that speed trap to begin with and have a look in our garage. What can we use? I'm at the moment in a KTM. That is my street car at 280. Now obviously we're not going to use a street car here. That's just not going to work. We might be able to use a bike and see what we can get out of that thing. Let's do that first. Let's select the bike first and see what we can get out of it. 325.8 kilometers an hour. That's even a bit worse than I did in the KTM. I did 326 in the KTM earlier to do a test. So yeah, this is obviously not the way to go. So we go back to that speed trap and try to figure out if we can do something else. What do we have? We have a plane. Let's have a look. Also, this thing is not maxed out, but nevertheless, we're gonna give it a go with that plane. That's gonna be a bit tricky because we need to get to that, towards that speed trap with a plane, dropping it out towards the road and then try to trigger it, which is not gonna be that easy. But yeah, you can already see we're doing 370, 380 kilometers an hour. If we can manage that on the speed trap, if we go high enough and then drop, we will get some more speed. Didn't trigger the camera. So that's already not going to be that interesting. But we were doing 440 kilometers an hour dropping out of the sky in a plane. So it's definitely something that can be done if we just manage to trigger the camera at the moment we are passing there. So that's an option. Go high enough. Too high. Didn't trigger it. Where is it? It's there. Go around again. You see all kind of people hanging in the air here, so yeah, it's pretty obvious they're doing the same. But that's why you need to restrict this thing. Their depths. Obviously this video is gonna go to the depths as well. To make it all a bit more feedback wise. Too high again. So I think you actually need to touch the road with the wheels to be able to do it. But that's why we use the Noob driver. You can always test these things out because yeah, we don't have max planes here. $357.1 kilometers. I did trigger the camera this time, which already gives me 11,000 points more. So with a plane it can be possible if you can time it perfectly to get over 400 kilometers an hour. Now let's test the theory. I need to check first. That is my favorite boat here. Okay, that's fine. Let's test that theory, if it is possible that they are doing this with a plane and then drop out of it with a boat. To be honest, I kinda doubt it, because you lose speed. So, that's not possible that way. Other option, we climb up vertical as high as we can. just test it out on, let's say, over 1,000 meters or so. $1,500 meters. Let's nosedive. Switch to a boat. That thing does not nosedive. We do get some more speed. Speed goes up. 300. 400. 500, almost 500 kilometers an hour. So it is possible if they climb very, very high. But how lucky do you need to be to fall exactly on that speed trap? But it's gotta be something. There is the speed trap. We are 2,000 meters. We need to lean forward to get the speed up. We totally missed that speed trap. Try again. Speed trap is somewhere behind us. Over there. Okay. Out of radius, it tells me. And then it takes you out of the thing. So I have no idea, guys, if this actually would be possible. It might be. Trap is still there. $560 kilometers an hour. So dropping out of the sky is a possibility to go over 600, but then you need to be oh so lucky to hit that speed trap. So the only thing I can think of is they sort of aim for that speed trap, facing down with a nosedive. and then I just pass by. As you see, we are going towards 600. You can go over 600 kilometers an hour that way. So, one thing is sure, what we have established so far. It can be done, but you need to be very lucky to hit that speed trap. So they are not necessarily cheaters, but I want to see them do this. Let's just try a bit more speed with it. Do we get it? Nope. Crashed again. Bit more sideways angle, I guess. Bit straighter angle. Too early. $365. Bit more speed, but not that much. So it's going to be a matter of timing when you can get over 400 with a plane. That's a possibility. Nevertheless. Street race event, let's go to there. Auto switching my vehicle. Okay. Let's take this thing. Because that's what we're gonna do with this Noob driver, see what we can do.
1.
You got this. You're a rock star.
330 something. That is bad. Pretty simple. Bad. So what we're gonna do is gonna go to the menu, go to the options, and change the controls on automatic. And try it again. Because I was too busy shifting gears, and half the time it didn't work because I was also leaning forward. 3 key put in thing there, you know. Can only give it 3 key input at the same time.
2, 1.
I'll stop talking so you can start driving.
Thank you very much. Not sure why they don't use the plastic checkpoints like they do in Rally Raid. But as you can see, don't come too close to the checkpoints, you'll have a problem. Left, right combinations with a bike. Not so sure. What do we have here? A 323. So we're gonna retry. We're gonna take a car. Let's try X-Bow.
3, 2, 1.
Listen to the engine. Let's see.
Same problem. Pretty sure you can go straight there. Some sort of shortcut through the field. Because the checkpoint is placed wrongly. Only behind the S corner, so you can probably cut up S corner there. Always end up in these 320s with these vehicles here that I have available on my second driver. That's why I choose this driver to do this. Obviously, to see the difference, later on I will do maybe a video or so with my main driver where I have yellow sets and everything active and recalibrate with the maximum parts and see what we can do then. So that's 2 events done. The top 3000 gets platinum. That's the idea after all. On a summit you want to reach platinum. So let's have a look. There are 5,230 players ranked at the moment. That's not so we're gonna have to do a few other things. We have to do an aerobatics skill test apparently. Now aerobatics, you say, but wait a minute. These are the aerobatics planes that I have, but air race planes are faster. No restriction on it. Dear devs, need the restriction. What I also have the problem here is that the thing is totally not upgraded, so, but that's why we're here. To see what is possible as a new player. I'm one of those new players, I don't have my cars maxed out, that's why I'm using this driver. Where do you think? Over there somewhere. Okay. Can we reach the button? I think we can, even with non-upgraded vehicles. We have to go there and then it's a bit circling stuff. There we go. But in these things we're gonna have some serious problems. Because here's where the recalibration comes into play. People who have score breaker and skilled 10 maxed out on it, they're gonna score huge scores here. I'm probably somewhere 30,000 or whatever, which is something we will never be able to get with our purple parts or whatever it is that we have. We can reach the finish though. And score a bit more. 11,029 points. I think that's a pretty bad score. We do manage to get 92,000 points on it, which is not bad. Everything above 100 is considered to be good. Everything around 150 or more is considered to be like super, I guess. Let's have a look on the leaderboards. Where's the top? How do you do top? F9. Oh, this is all my friends. What is this? Why can't I see the top? Top players, F9. Okay. All. Top players, F9. Okay, figured it out. 28,550. We scored 11,000 points, but if we would have a score breaker set on this plane, that already doubles the points. Then we would have like 22,000 points. If we would have skilled 10% on it, on every 7 of the parts, that gives us 70% extra. We can get 10% extra from the perks, from the icon points in the pilot menu, does that 80% extra. So with this run of 11,000, let's do the math on that pretty quickly. 11,000, we add 80%, that's 19,850, we do it times 2, we can score 39,700 points. So if we have a plane here which is maxed out on skilled and score breaker, you can score around 40,000 in this thing. Okay, what is this here? Let's have a look. This is an orange skill test. You're supposed to take something off-road. Why are these mails coming in all over the place? I don't need that. Here we go. Oh my god. Don't go to desktop because the thing will keep flashing before it actually upgrades. As you can see. How do you do that? Okay, we're back in. Jesus. So let's have a look what people are using here. That's what I was wanting to do. We see some rally raid vehicles, but you already also see a Jaguar CX-75 concept hypercar. Why not a dragster? Why not a Formula 1 car? Is something we're gonna find out when we are there. So let's have a look. Okay. Now, vehicles. No idea what I have on this driver. Probably nothing. Seriously considered to be rally raids. I do have a bike here, which has a level of 63. Very interesting. Do I have something with parts on? Here are some parts on. Nothing here. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna take these parts up. And then I'm gonna see, do I have anything else? No, this is motocross bike. That's not an option. I'm gonna take this bike and put the parts on there. Sort of thinking, what would a new player do? Yeah, he has to do this. If he want to participate in the player and he don't have any parts, this is oh, that last part needs. Now we already have a level of 114. Yeah, that's fine. Now let's have a look on the bike settings. Aero distribution. Why is that so low? Brake balance. That's fine. Suspension. I think a bit softer should be fine. Something like that. Thing says easy. We will see. Oh, very nice. But they're still in my favorite car. We need to select this, Dave. I'm really playing like a noob now. So we need to do this thing. Yeah, let's have a look. If I'm not mistaken, we need to go there. We have done this in a technical test already. So take that jump here. Hopefully survive it. And I did. And now try to get away as far as we can. The red circle is following us. The fact that our bike is not upgraded, of course, it's not going to help us here. Circle is catching up, but I take a bike to avoid the trees easier. If you do this with a car, you might have some problems. If you can get a hypercar, you can get to this point and get to that road there, you might actually get away. 3,297 meters, whatever that means. 70,000 points. So yeah, obviously this needs to be improved. We're gonna have a look on the leaderboard and see where it puts us. Yeah, I don't need to see that friends list. 260th. That's not that bad. You have to keep remember we need a top 3,000. We are already in the top 3,000. I'm 2,017 something, and we have done 4 events. While we are on that rally raid bike, there is no restriction here except for rally raid, so we can use all vehicles. We could potentially use this thing. let's have a look. What is this?
2.
What is this? Is a new track, I think. Yeah.
You'll make awesome time. I know it.
But here, of course, we also have a problem. We do not have yellow parts. We do not have any set going. You need a nitro chemist set here, preferably with pure and extra pump on it, maxed out. Recalibration coming into play again. And you probably also don't need the bike here. Something like the Porsche 959 or whatever. Okay, maybe. One of the fast rally rate things. Because now we are obviously gonna do a slow time because this bike is not even maxed out for the discipline yet. But that's why we are using the Noob driver. To see what is possible if you're a new player. That's mainly the test I'm doing. I'm doing this now on Twitch, but I'm still on single screen, so I cannot see the chat for. But I'm exporting it to YouTube anyway. Go left. Concentrating on my main driver, which would not have been so interesting. Probably would have been a better idea to come to my second driver last week or so and also get some live reward boxes for this driver. We could go left here. These tracks could be seen in the all new tracks video that I did yesterday. It's one of those tracks. And it's rally rate, so yeah, it's a matter of finding the best route. Like here, I noticed the other day that there is somewhere is a gap between the rocks. Was it here? I think it was here. So yeah, this is definitely a shortcut. Instead of going around that, because the checkpoint is only here. So there we already won like 5 seconds, probably. And that's sort of how you have to do it. Go look for some shortcuts here. Rally rate is from checkpoint to checkpoint. How you do it is up to you. We need to beat 4 minutes, that's not a problem. We have 312. Even within 104,000 points. That's already a good score with a bike that is not upgraded. 399th. Who is in first place? There is Hawaii 242. Of course, that is maxed out bikes, no doubt about it. He has all the parts on it. Go to the menu and meanwhile get some parts on it. Meanwhile, we're getting some scrap to recalibrate, which of course is nowhere in our interest at this moment in time, because we don't have yellow parts. First we need yellow parts, not only that, we need to make yellow sets, then we can start thinking about potentially recalibrating or not. That brings us in 2005th place with 4 more events to go. Drift. Big issue with drift is that do we have a car? Good question. Well, easy way to find out is just go look there and see what is happening. Oh, we do. We actually do. We have 2. But the parts are on this one, I think. Why are the parts on this one? I have no idea. How do you do this? Oh, there you go. Tool menu, you can go back to the summit. We're gonna do that. And we go to the menu and we're gonna switch those parts to no, don't have any parts, it just has a higher level. We do have some parts on here. And I think I have this one, yeah. Traction control 2, ABS 8, ESP 2, drift assist sorted in the middle, aerobatics, gearbox. Why is the gearbox so long? Make that a bit shorter. Oh, that's actually worse. Doesn't matter that much. Tire grip I put at 8, not at maximum, because we want to have a bit of slit on the rear. The rest is in the middle for some reason. If they have changed the suspension settings, probably. The camber. Why is that at 10? That should be at 0. Although I'm not sure, because the camber in this game works opposite compared to the other side, so there's good possibility you have to put it on all the way to the plus side. 10-10, that's fine. The suspension doesn't matter that much, we're not going to do jumps, so let's just let it try that. We're definitely going to go sequential. We want to sort of have to go like third gear and keep it in third gear. That's the idea. Let's see what we can score. Also here, of course, don't have a maxed out car, so I definitely don't have yellow parts. I definitely don't have hot hat and slippery on it. I do have hot hat and slippery in the icon points. The ones that I could use, I put on there. So the multiplier can at least go to 75. The rest is depending on the parts, which I do not have. So we cannot score, whatever it is that we do, we cannot score very high here.
3, 2, 1.
I'm gonna enjoy
Seeing our car is not upgraded, we're also gonna need some boost here and there, more than likely. And in some of the corners it might actually... Yeah, that's what I thought. It's gonna cost us a multiplier. Like here, you just slide out, you don't have the power to pull you out. So we have to do some nitro boost to pull us out of the corners. Like here, we lost it again. Yep. Touching the barriers with the rear. With a maxed out car, you just pull that thing out of the corner. Because of course the idea is to not lose the multiplier. But here slippery and hot hat is definitely slippery. The hot hat is not that important. It's only important if you do lose it, because then it goes up faster again. But the idea is to not lose it, and then the multiplier goes to 173 if you max it out with hot hat, with slippery 14 on all 5. 7 parts on it, and everything else maxed out. We have 79 now, so apparently we do have some slippery on this car. 4 points or so. $188,000. Let's retry. And try not to lose the multiplier this time. So one of our parts has a slippery 4 on it.
1.
Because the standard multiplier is 50, we have 25 on it from the icon points in the pilot menu. Saw earlier that it can go to 79, which means we gave 4 points from the part itself. down a bit in these corners where we lost it earlier. This is a tricky one. Seen it is Polar Rush. All these events take place in the snow, which of course also not really helping to slide us through these corners. There we go. Back to the multiplier, 79. You cannot get more, and now we drive. So now we have to build it up again, and that's where the hot heads comes into play. Makes it go up faster again. These are corners where with a maximum amount car, I would just slid through it like this and put it sideways, go to that corner, but we don't have the power now. Which is a bit of a problem. But yeah, the thing is, I know a lot of people who will lose the multiplier. So in drift, you can get away with it probably. 207,000. I think we can get to 300,000 if we do not lose a multiplier. But we have 80,000 points again. And we have some parts to add it. Hopefully it has some slippery on it. That's always handy. So let's have a look. How do you do that? F10. You press F10, you go to the main menu, and then you can go to your cars. Like here, this is not that interesting. We have a slippery 4.1. And this thing is a higher part, but it does not have slippery. It only has hot head. So a matter of fact, I'm not going to put that part on. Over here we are going to put it on because none of these things has slippery. So we're just going to put the highest part on. And over here we're also going to put it on. So we are upgrading our car, but we take in consideration the slippery. Because this one gives us 4, so we have a higher multiplier. Pilot. Meanwhile we want some icon points. We have the slippery on 25, so that's a maximum. We do not have any other points to spare because we are not there yet. That's what you have with Noob drivers. New drivers, whatever you want to call it. Which leaves us with the powerboat over there. We have to use Proto. Luckily for us, as a new player, you get a Proto Offshore Mark 1 as your starting vehicle. So everybody will have a Proto powerboat. Whether that thing is upgraded or not, that's another story. In my case, it isn't. 223 level out of 250. Also here, of course, no yellow parts, no sets going. So we have to go with what we go here.
3, 2, 1.
Which also means we're gonna have to deal with this AI in the beginning there, because you can't get really away from him. Especially if you dive into the ocean. Yeah, here it is where you need nitro chemist, pure extra pump, maxed out. So you have a double nitro bar. Constantly go 340, 350 towards 400 kilometers once you have this thing upgraded. Other than that, it's a powerboat race. I compared a bit with drag. It's like on this track it's kind of okay. We at least have some corners, but most of the time it's just straightforward. But here's where we're gonna have the problem. We go into the open ocean now. Here you lose a lot of speed, of course. A 142, whatever that means. We will see. That means 113,000 points. That's okay. It's more than 100,000 points. That's always a good score in the sum. Of course, that will not be good enough for my main driver. There I want 120, 130, 150,000 points. But over here it will do fine. Meanwhile, we moved up to rank 1049th. Not that bad. And now we have another problem. We have 2 events left which are completely locked for us. So there is no other way. We need to buy those vehicles. So we need some sort of Red Bull, and we need a P51 Mustang Strega. Both of them are Blue headquarters, pro racing headquarters in New York. So what we're gonna do is get these vehicles while we are here. So we need to get a Red Bull. This Red Bull is available in a bundle. Interesting. Let's have a look. View the bundle. The Polar Rush bundle. What can you get here? We can get the Mustang Strega with the Offshore Mark II and with the Red Bull 13. Not that interesting after all. Looking back at it, because I don't want the 13, I also don't want that power boat. I don't need it. I do want the Strega plane, but I'm just gonna buy one of these 14s. Disruption edition or so would be fine. We have the money for it to buy vehicles. We do have a Alpha GP, but it's only the Proto Al, which we cannot use. We can only use Red Bulls. So we're just gonna buy the most expensive one, the Disruption edition. The color does not matter. The rims also not, because you cannot change it. Just gonna buy them with bucks. Now that's one thing. Now of course we need to take out these parts from this vehicle, because yeah, that's what we have with our Noob driver here. None of it is updated. And we're gonna see what we can put on. Probably everything, unless there is one lower than 289, which is the stock part, then you can't even put it on. But I don't think we have that problem. Let's go and close though with 295. So that is that. While we are here, I see some things flashing here. Lower parts, also very interesting. Jesus Christ. But yeah, we can scrap, we get some extra scrap for it. Sort of build up the spare parts, the third currency. Although I call it just scrap. You can build it up so that you have some spares to go by once you are able to recalibrate. I can recalibrate this one, for instance, because that is a maximum part. I could already recalibrate that, but I'm not going to do that because I don't really want loot on that boat. That's that. Now, what we're going to do is why is everything? Oh yeah, of course. Forgot about that part. For the drift, we put the thing on sequential. Back in here. While we are here, we're also gonna get that plane, which we need. Mustang Strega Air Race. which is this one. 324,000. Yes, gonna get that. Same story here. We're gonna have to change the parts from and do some other stuff with it as well, I think. Let's have a look. So we need to find the plane which has the parts on it, which is this one. Let's see what of these things we can use. That is exactly what you need to do if you're like a new player, you only have one plane or so. But because we played the campaign, we have some money and stuff going for us, so we can always buy the vehicles that we need. That's that. Now we're gonna press F9 and gonna have a look. That needs to go higher. That can go. That I'm gonna put at 0 and that at 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's fine. And let's see how that handles. Could go up and down a bit faster. Of course, we also do not have anything on here like perfectionist or gateway or even extreme mode. You can use the extreme mode button, which makes it go faster and stuff like that. But okay, that will do. We go back to the summit, which we can go through activities, summit, and we do these two last events and see where we end up with our Noob driver. But I think all in all it seems to be okay. We're in 1066 already and we have 2 events to go. So it doesn't seem to be that hard, even if you're a new player, to get into the top 3000. But yeah, this is the first summit. You have to go in there, Dave. These numbers might change over time. They're gonna go by what players are playing. It's only day 1, of course, in this thing. We have 5,500 players here ranked. Yeah, numbers from the crew 1 I remember were like 16, 17,000. I don't know, not that many people are playing this game probably, but and some of them are still upgrading their vehicles. So yeah, around 10,000 I'm assuming will be in here for sure. So it might be possible that one of the next summits that they change this thing into like a top 10%. So if 10,000 people play, we have top 1,000 for the platinum. If the 15,000 players, then we have a top 1,500. But because this is the first summit, it seems like they put up some numbers there. Top 3,000 for platinum, top 8,000 for gold, and top 15,000 for silver. But there are 5,500 ranked at the moment. That means that everybody has gold or platinum at this moment, but that will change over time. What we're gonna do first doesn't matter. Let's do the air race first, and then the Red Bull thing. The Red Bull is the super event. Actually, it's a Red Bull car, but we have to do it over a street race, I think, something like that.
3,
Let's first do this
2,
thing.
1.
See what we can do here with this one.
Stay focused on the route and you'll ace this.
What we want to do is nice. That's not what we want to see. We want to see perfect. We sort of want to replicate the thing that it wants you to do. Like here, it wants you to hang like that. And if you get close to this thing, you get a perfect. And every time you get a perfect, you win a second. That second will be like there. That was not good enough. Nice, it says. Almost touched the line. So we are now 7 seconds that we have won there. We are also 6.5 seconds ahead of the ghost, so the ghost is not going to be a problem. which is like one of these AI ghost scores, I think. That's like lap number 2 that we are doing now. That's a bad one. What does it say? 1-3. Not close enough. If you have gateway on it, it refills. Every time you get perfect, you're gonna get a refill of your nitro faster. And if you have perfectionist on it, you don't need to be that perfect on the gate. You have more allowance. So now it takes in consideration all these seconds that we won with the perfect gates, and that deducts it from your time, and then it gives you the end result, which is pretty bad. 146 is good enough for 64,000 points, or bad enough, or however you want to do that. We're definitely gonna put some parts on. We have some extreme mode here on. This is tricky. We have a bit of all on here by the looks of it. This is a gateway, but only 0.9% because it's only a blue part. And over here we have extra pump and perfectionist, 2%, because it's only a purple part. Yellow part, the percentages obviously go higher, and then you can also max them out with the recalibration. That. 804th we are now, and we still have to do this Red Bull. Let's do that. We bought a car, we put the parts on it, I think. Level 307, that's definitely not what it comes, so indeed we put the parts on it. But this is a super event, so we're gonna have to throw this thing over a street race event this time. Harlem East is the track. Which means we also have to take a jump here. I prefer to go right. Yeah, I'll make it. We did. Yeah. That of course also means that it's tracked here with the reset cut, meaning you can go through this alley here, you can reset, and it's just faster than to go around that building where the actual track goes. Checkpoint placement, you know. One day they will learn it, but not today, because there is no checkpoint there in that corner, so you can still cut through that alley. You need a brake or press back on track. And of course, in this Polar Rush, all of these events take place in the snow. For this summit, will not be the case next week. But this is warm up. It's like the so-called weekly challenge. Ow. Formula 1 cars in a street track with a keyboard, not a whiteboard. we managed to get a time of 2:30 with our underpowered vehicle. Because yeah, we are pretty noobish in this. 103,000, all in all, not that bad. Everything over 100,000, always good. That also means that we have completed the 9 events. And that also means 100,000 points extra bonus if you do all the events. And of course we need to put all the parts on that we can get to eventually upgrade these vehicles on our Nobis drivers here. The result of that, with that 100,000 bonus, 916,326 points. And that is good enough for place 288 in the summit. And a top 3,000 for platinum. I think we can more or less assume that even if I do not do anything during this week on this driver anymore, that we are guaranteed platinum. Now, of course, my main driver is another story. I don't want to be 288. I want to be in the top 10, top 15 somewhere, preferably top 5. But we will see how that goes. There I do have yellow sets. I can recalibrate some of these vehicles, but only the ones that matter. That is how I'm going to do this. Aerobatics, but it's a skill test, so I want a score breaker with skilled. That means that my air race plane, because that is what we are using there, needs to be recalibrated to a skilled 10 on all 7 parts in combination with the score breaker. Then we can score way better points there. What else do we need to recalibrate? Yeah, obviously some street race nitrochemist set. The air race again for the plane, not that necessarily immediately. And then the speed trap, yeah, we need to figure that out what the people are doing there. And over there you can recalibrate a rally rate bike, or apparently there is some route possible on the road because people are doing it in a hypercar. They can get to that road with a hypercar, you can get away there. But all in all, even with our Nobis driver over here, we managed to get way into the top 3,000, which means that by the end of this week, when this thing is over, we will get every single of these rewards. We will get the followers, we will get the silver shape, we will get customization pack for the Ferrari A12, and we will get those pink tires. So I do not need to buy that tire. It's 56,000 crew credits if you want to buy it. So it's pretty decent reward. Now, you see the calendar here for the upcoming summits. Off the beaten path, this seems to be concentrating on rally rate. This is an extreme mixtape. This is definitely going to concentrate on all different series, extreme series episodes. Probably going to have to do that in that summit. And then coming soon, two-wheeler. More than likely, this is going to be all about bikes. But these are all weekly qualifiers, this Polar Rush and the other ones as well. Let's call it that, some sort of weekly qualifiers. We call it in the Crew 1 because there you could earn medals and you need a certain amount of medals to qualify for the monthly summit. That's not the case now. Now you just have what they call the normal summits and the premium summits. These are normal summits. The off the beaten path and the mixtape and the two-wheelers will also be these so-called normal summits. And then this one over here will be a premium. And that is for next week. What's the premium? Get some more followers, you get red smoke, you get legendary sets. Like over here, this is a legendary set, drift with hothead and slippery on it. Perfect part. I don't know about the percentages. If not, you can always recalibrate the percentages to the maximum. 8% for hothead, 14 for slippery, and you can create the perfect drift car. And then of course the platinum reward is the Mitsubishi Lancer Evo 10 Red Fury edition. You need to get platinum in the summit like we have done here now next week and you win that car. What do you need for next week? You can go in there. Always the next summit available, you will be able to go in there and then you can see what is going on here. What you see here is a low altitude, no restriction skill test. That means plane. You're gonna need an air race plane, probably. Although it is pink family here, you should say aerobatics, but the air race planes are faster, so people are gonna use an air race plane here. This is a blue slalom that can be on the road, but it can also be on the water. In that case, you need a powerboat. Here we have boy smashing. Either that's going to have to do with the jet sprint or with a powerboat. We're going to have to figure out which is the fastest. So those are things that you need there. Planes and boats. And then this one, if it's on the road, you're probably going to need a bike or a Formula 1 car for a slalom. If it's on the water, obviously powerboat. What do we need? Drift 370Z Nismo, because this is Rising Sun. It's Japanese, Asian restriction on all of this event. So we're only gonna use Nissan, Kawasaki, Mazda, I see here. So yeah, you get the idea. We need a 370Z Nismo. This is like a third level restriction. That means specific vehicle. 370Z Nismo in drift. If you don't have that, you can buy it. If you don't have the bucks, you can get the bucks together to be able to buy it by the time next week when this summit starts. The drag race needs to be done with a Nissan, so you need to buy a Nissan drag car. Then I'm thinking the 370Z or the Skyline are the only two available, I think, in drag. So you need to have one of those two. You need to figure out which of those two is the fastest. Or you can wait and see to the leaderboards which is the fastest before you buy. If you need to buy one of these two and you only have bucks for one, wait and see what the leaderboard says, see what the fastest times are, and buy the right one. Touring car MX5, you need to buy a touring car Mazda MX5 because you need to have it. This is a level 3 restriction specific vehicle. This is level 2, so you only have level 2 is a restriction, a brand or a country or a continent. Over here it's Nissan, so you can use any Nissan in the drag car. The street race is a level 2 restriction as well. You need a Japanese bike. So yeah, Kawasaki. But you have the Z1000, you have the Ninja H2. There are some possibilities here as well. The street race over here is a level 3 restriction. It needs to be the Nissan GTR, the R35. That car, you have to need it. If you don't have it, you need to buy it. So you can see. And the street race, what is this here? The Ninja H2 you need to use in street race. So you need to have that bike. And you need to put it over something with the pro racing. So I'm guessing it's going to be a touring car or Alpha GP track where you have to go and throw that thing over. So we're going to go on circuit with the bike, more or less. That's the idea behind this super event next week. So you can see what you want, what you need to buy there by next week, Wednesday, I'm assuming. I think the summits will do Wednesday every time. But all in all, with our... Let's leave here. So yeah, if you look at the vehicles that we use, we have a 308 Formula 1 car. We have a 224 powerboat. We have some other, the only vehicles that were upgraded. We used this bike here in 2 events for the rally rate, 115 that thing is. The only thing which was more or less upgraded was our street vehicle, because I was working on there. So what am I doing here? Like here on this KTM, you see I have like 6 sniffers on it, so I'm missing this part here to complete the set. Then I can recalibrate and put a collector and sensor on it if I want to have a super sniffer car. Not on this bike I was working on the nitro. I only have 4 parts, as you can see. I need to find the other 3 yellow nitros. If not, then I have to wait to recalibrate, because there's no point in recalibrating if you don't have a set. You need to have the sets. On this Mustang here, I am working on the loot. I'm missing the second one here and also the last one. Once that is completed, I can put potentially Lucky and Gold Finder on it as the 2 other affixes next to the loot set, the loot digger. And then I have like the perfect grinding machine if I want to do some events, I just use this thing and I will get 6-7 parts from every event that I do. That's what the loot digger does. It gives you double the amount of parts that you get from an event. If you win normally 2 or 3 parts, you will now get 4 or 6. And with lucky, you're going to get better quality. And with Gold Finder, you occasionally going to get even an extra part. So that's how it goes. And this one, I have a score breaker, and also there I need that 6 part here to the suspension. Yellow suspension with score breaker. And then they need to be recalibrated, or I need to grind some more till I find the part, because score breaker, you need skilled. Skilled gives you more percentage, the score breaker doubles that points. So definitely score breaker skilled is what you want. You want to have that set complete, especially for skill tests, of course. And the nitro chemist, I combine it with pure and extra pump, and that is for all these time attacks and stuff like that. And you have to do that for every single discipline. At least nitro chemist and score breaker is something you need for the summits. If you want to grind for loot, then you can use a loot digger. If you want to find live reward boxes, you can use a sniffer. If you want to level up faster and get some more followers, you want to use the fame magnet. All that important for the summit. The only two important for the summit are nitro chemist for time attacks and the score breaker for skill tests. But all in all, I'm gonna stop it here. Perfect setup in a way, because yeah, we are pretty much Noob driver. We have none of the vehicles here on my second driver which were upgraded, and we still managed to make it into the 288 position in the summit with over 5,500 players ranked. Definitely not bad. So even as a new player, you can definitely participate in this summit. You can definitely get to the platinum medal. Of course, if you want the top spots, you're gonna have to find yellow sets. You're gonna have to recalibrate to the maximum parts, because that's what people also will be doing there up in the top. We'll see you guys in the next one, and bye for now.